And now, a Ladz City Radio special guest.
All right. My producer, Tig Bo, has hooked me up with an awesome interview. The guys over at Toy Boogers are going to speak with us today and give us some insight into their project. How are we doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Why don't we start off with what time zone you are in, or what part of the world?
Yeah. So I'm in California. My name's Doug. I'm the artist and founder behind Toy Boogers, and here in the Bay Area, San Francisco. So it's just the evening for us.
Nice, nice. Any big plans for Halloween this year?
Just relaxing, kind of just taking it easy, just chilling, you know. And then we got our drop coming up on the 6th. So actually, other than the hanging out and relaxing, a lot of work behind the scenes going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have your website pulled up on my Twitch. Looks like your public sale is on the 8th and your pre-sale is on the 6th. Got a countdown on there, and you guys are minting 3,333 Toy Boogers. What was the inspiration to make this?
Yeah, so I've been drawing these characters. They're all kind of like these funky, goofy, somewhat in between, kind of like a Hello Kitty and a Rick and Morty. So kind of a strange combo, but they're cute, they're goofy, they're wacky. I've been drawing these characters for a long time. Actually a few years, and was originally going to make going towards like a merchandise type of an idea. And then in April, and the project kind of got shelved for a little bit because I just wasn't moving forward and how I wanted to go. It just didn't feel completely right. But then in April, when I got into the NFT scene, it was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been wanting to do. Just like a collection of fun, goofy characters, and create kind of the world from there, but to start with these characters. So one of the initial merchandise ideas I had was like going to be like an encyclopedia book of all this fun, wacky stuff. And so I already had this idea that I wanted to just have like characters and not so much like, you know, necessarily like a book or a story or whatnot. And so this was a perfect start, even though we're expanding in the world and have some lore behind it. But yeah, so they're 3,333 of these, cute, wacky, goofy, gnarly characters, and they're all hand done. And I think that's one thing that makes it unique. So yeah, the Toy Boogers I drew them all by hand, paper and pen and pencil. Took pictures of them, scanned them into the computer, digitized them, turned them into vectors, and colorized them digitally, and then hand mixed them too. So they're not generative or AI. So each Toy Booger is a one-on-one handmade piece.
That's rather impressive. I know we've seen Hash Rhymes, one of our mods in chat, said 3,333, not another 10K project. Why? And I think you just answered that, because you are hand drawing all of these, and I bet you that takes quite a lot of bit of work. How many hours do you think you have into drawing?
Oh man, it's been insane. So the April, well, I had already had a lot of the character kind of in general developed, but I did expand and make a bunch of new traits and different heads and bodies. But since really May onwards, I've been solidly working many hours every day. And I kept thinking like, all right, I'll get it done by next month and then next month. And so I know a lot of people have been following me for a while, and it's kind of like, yeah, next month we're dropping next month and the next month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been months of just hours and hours. And so lots of care, lots of time, lots of attention, and really wanted to do that though, just make a really, awesome project that I'm proud of, art pieces that I'm proud of, and, cute, fun characters. And everybody who sees them, they get it. They look at it, they smile, they laugh. It's fun, it's goofy, it's wacky. So I think I hit what I wanted to do, and really excited to get to the mint.
Very nice, very nice. Did this project start with your drawing, or did it start on the back end with just developing the project?
So mostly the drawing. Again, I had this plan that I was gonna years ago, like make this kind of funny, wacky world that would be mostly kind of books and merchandise, but that it didn't progress. And then when I got into the NFT scene, it just immediately made sense that that's what I would be doing, would be the NFTs. and make a collection out of it. And so kind of started with a kind of from a different project and then turned into this one as it is now.
Nice.
Yeah.
You already mentioned like a Rick and Morty. What were your favorite, I guess, cartoons or comics growing up? Where did you get your inspiration from?
Oh man. Growing up, Garbage Pail Kids, artistically, like
Nice.
Garbage Pail Kids was a big one. And then later on, of course, the Rick and Mortys and the Hello Kitty. It was totally influenced by the whole, kawaii scene. There's a lot of fun stuff there, just like the cute kind of simple cartoons, but then, Adventure Time and all this fun random stuff. Yeah, and then big Star Wars fan, so obviously like sci-fi and stuff like that, but it kind of plays into it. And then I like all the kind of surreal art. So even though some of my stuff has a little bit of a surreal touch, but it's wacky. There's some really wacky stuff, which is kind of like, Rick and Morty with maybe, a hint of, I don't know, Salvador Dali, if I can claim that, but mostly just wacky stuff.
Yeah, when I was first looking over these, I definitely had I just forgot what you just said 2 seconds ago. Friends. Oh, that cartoon or
the Adventure Time guys.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe I was getting. That's the first thought that came to my mind was that's kind of similar to those, and that's a fun show. So I like that. Why did you decide to draw on pen and paper versus like doing it digitally? Is that just what you're comfortable with, or what you're best at?
I think so. I love the traditional feel of like what the pen and the paper can do, and just got pretty good at it. And I got a clean system from a few years of just doing these initial sketches and then taking a photo and then turning just the black and white into a like a vector with Inkscape, which is just kind of a random software, but it makes a really nice lined vector of the pen. So it still looks like pen, even though there's really cool brushes and tips with Procreate. I find that the look that I get has its own unique kind of look. Like if you look at the lines, it really does look, I mean, because it is, but it really looks like ink. And then the digital filling it in with the colors also kind of popped it out and gave it a real cartoon kind of look. So it has, I think, a nice blend of kind of like some of these more simple cartoons, but a really nice color palette that has solid colors.
So when I was looking over your project, I had a question because these are all hand drawn. Are these going to be instant revealed, or what you're getting when you're minting, or how do you have that set up?
Yeah, so just like a standard collectible series, it will be the blind minting. So blind random minting, all 3,333 will be totally blind random. The rarities, there's a whole rarity scheme. So the rarities go by different head, all the different traits. So heads, bodies, and toys. And that's one of the fun things with this one is the characters can actually be holding something or multiple things, or standing on a skateboard, as you've seen in some of them. Or other random stuff. So total standard collectible kind of series of blind random minting with potential to get something super rare. There's multiple one-of-one item, both multiple one-of-one heads, items, toys. So lots of ability to get something that's really, really unique and rare. And then the reveal, we're currently planning on doing it a few days later, just to let more time and like trading. A lot of people kind of like to some people will do some secondary sales or trade or buy more. So having a little bit of a buffer between the mint and the reveal.
That makes sense. Seems like that's well thought out there. I know on your website there, you guys mentioned some merchandise coming down the road.
Yeah, so that's the big plan. Like, everybody asks, all right, what's the roadmap and utility? Two big buzzwords, which are important to talk about because some projects really do have some interesting things there. With ours, the main roadmap is an artistic-driven roadmap, but also a heavily merchandise-centric one as well. And so we would, when you see these images, you're like, oh my God, I have to have that, the poop hat kid on a skateboard. I need that on a shirt, so definitely want to make some really nice merchandise to go with it. And then there will be, at club membership, so we want to continue like doing giveaways and some bonuses, and there'll be some special surprises there. So it's basically like a club with merchandise coming. And then there's some big plans that we have though too, but we want to reveal a roadmap 2.0 after we get the initial merch going, along with a collab collection. So I've been in this space for a long time and got a lot of support from a lot of artists, and everybody wants to do like a derivative collab piece. And so right after this, one of the first things we'll start to do is it'll be the Toy Boogers collab collection, and it will be like a fun mix of me doing derivatives of other people's stuff, and then other people doing derivatives of Toy Boogers stuff. So that's kind of the next thing immediately planned. But there will be future surprises that will drop in Roadmap 2.0.
Fun. Someone in chat put a Bob Ross crab. I loved watching Bob Ross growing up. My grandma always had some Bob Ross on the TV. Man, that dude is so talented. Did you grow up watching Bob Ross too?
Yeah, so he's classic, and then Cool Cats dropped him on the TV screen, and then so I have a few. That head is totally like a Bob Ross inspired head, and the I have one it's technically a lab coat, but it looks like his painting jacket. And so there's a few where he's like, one of the toys is a paintbrush, and I also have spray paint, which is kind of fun too. But there's a few actually that totally look like him. So there's some special Bob Ross surprises in the Easter eggs of Bob Ross.
Very nice. What kind of merchandise did you guys plan on dropping? One of my buddies, Cryptolander, sent me a wicked snapback that I'm really feeling. One of these hats. Do you guys have hats coming out, or what type of merchandise do you have dropping?
Yeah, so definitely streetwear. Actually, that was one of my original ideas with this years ago, was just streetwear, because it's so fun to just, rock a goofy character, or just, even just a fun smile, just some of these facial expressions, put that on the hat or on a t-shirt, and you'll definitely get some compliments and smiles from it. But clothing, streetwear, definitely want to look into all of these options. There's, hoodies and tees and snapbacks, dad hats, all these different types of hats, even beanies. They have some embroidered stuff. So really going to explore, and I have been looking into that and haven't nailed it down, but generally anything that goes under that umbrella of streetwear. And one of the things Robotos did recently is they did some other fun stuff, just like coffee mugs and stuff, and that was actually really fun. I got some Robotos coffee mugs, which love drinking coffee out of my little Roboto head coffee mug. So we'll have some fun accessory stuff too, but definitely a streetwear kind of focused.
Very, very
and maybe
cool.
maybe even toys too, because Toy Boogers, this is probably more kind of 2.0 of the merch, but that could be something big. So not promising or guaranteeing or trying to put that out there, but that's definitely kind of where this could go and probably should go, especially with the name and just the funky style of it. So whether that's action figure or plushie or something, but definitely have to look and plan that out more. But kind of there's road maps and there's compasses. So compasses are kind of where you're hope to head, and definitely hope to go further down the rabbit hole of what's possible with merchandise.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. Someone dropped this Vandal Sloth in chat. That looks like one of my dog's chew toys that he's always running around with and shaking and killing. That thing's look. It's flat, and it's so he can chew on it, and he doesn't actually tear it up. That definitely looks almost just. I'm tempted full of spit and drool right now. Otherwise, I'd pick it up and show camera, but then I get my keyboard all dirty. But maybe you can make some toys for some animals or something. I know I would spend a bit of money to watch my dog run around and chew up some of these Toy Boogers. That sounds like a fun idea. I probably spent way too much money on my dog. Oh, dang. Someone, Ren1 Lab, shout out to you. You are dropping some sweet ones in chat. This is a
awesome, smart
way of getting some FOMO up there. And
Ren1, good shout out to Ren1. He's an amazing, talented artist himself.
Nice.
There's some special stuff in the collection that tributes him, and he's also one of our team members in the moderators, but definitely not just a moderator. He's a talented artist. Above me, I consider myself under him. This project just happens to be the one that I did, but I'm excited to see what he's done a lot actually. If anybody hasn't seen Ren1, check him out. Ashira is another one. Just shout out. She's also one of our moderators on the team, but also a talented artist. And our whole team actually has been really good. Fresh biscuits. We have a sous chef in the Discord. So
Fun.
if anybody hasn't joined our Discord, it's a fun one. It's just, the Discord, what is it, .gg, and then Toy Boogers. We have the vanity name, Toy Boogers. But yeah, so Fresh is set up as a sous chef, and then we have Ashira and Ren One and Herbs in there as well. And he's the bud tender at Bored Apes. He's one of our moderators, which we call we just changed the name to Big Boogers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and our dev, shout out to our dev, Elon Musk. He's the community manager of Vogu as well. Really solid code writer in Solidity Wizard, but he's the dev for this project and also highly involved with the Vogu. So. And then Drew Bleem, our Discord master. So we got a really solid team, well-known people, awesome skills and talents, all in their own rights. And we just want to invite everybody to check out the project, check out our Discord. It's fun. We got all these Toy Boogers we made stickers of. So if you got Nitro, join the Discord. Fun. Just to get the stickers to slap around. It's been a blast.
Very, very cool. That's a great suggestion. What a good way to get people in, because these are fun little stickers. And if you have Nitro, I have Nitro, and I'm definitely, I'm going to go check out your project. But I'm definitely adding a bunch of these stickers over to my sticker collection. That definitely makes it very, very fun. Awesome. Awesome. I guess I didn't write this down. What level do you need to be in your Discord to make your pre-sale? Or your whitelist? Thank
you. So yeah, simple mechanics. What we wanted to do, we've all seen multiple different pre-sale whitelisting mechanisms, and for better or worse, they all have their pros and cons. What I wanted to do was make one that was really straightforward, very accessible, minimal effort, but definitely a little bit of effort. So all you got to do is get to chat rank bot 3, which if anybody's not familiar with the rank bot, you get points just by chatting. We're throwing up a sticker, so if you don't have anything to say, just pop in a sticker and you'll get some points. And level 3 is pretty darn easy, and we have the XP, the experience points, set pretty easy as well. So anybody who comes in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and chats will get to that level 3. And then once you hit level 3, you get the OG Booger roll, which is a cute little icon, the cat hat head appears by your name. You get that OG Booger roll. And then the pre-sale channel opens, where you can put your ETH address, which will be written into the contract for the pre-sale. So there's no kind of question. Some of them have had different mechanics where you just get involved and we'll pick you at a certain point. This one's pretty clear. It's just get to level 3, pre-sale channel opens, and you're in.
Very, very cool. Dang, I can tell you spent a ton of time making these. Did you plan to drop this right around Halloween and work in a Halloween vibe, or are these just the characters that came out of your brain?
Yeah, no, those are just them. There's the idea is that there's really cute ones, which goes back to like my kawaii kind of roots. I'm really fond of that kind of genre. And then there's these kind of really wacky ones, which again, kind of vibes with all the Rick and Morty Adventure Time stuff. And then there's like the gnarly, it's like, the monsters with the demon wings and nunchucks and ninja swords and stuff, and they all mix together. So sometimes you'll get like a cute monster with ice cream or something. Yeah, so lots of variation with those characters. I think I forgot the exact question though. I kind of was rambling on about the characters.
Oh, you know what? I think I probably forgot the question too. These things are so entertaining to look at. I see a lot of people claiming that they're unique or different. This one's probably the most unique or different one that I think I've seen in quite a while. Ren 1 just keeps dropping them, and I'm shocked. There are so many different ones. There's so many beautiful, different little creations. You definitely have a talent, man. This is fun.
Thank you.
Have you been drawing your whole life?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much like a hobby artist, though. I still have a day job and everything, but I've drawn, painted, done pottery, everything. I got into painting for a while, done random different, even like arts and crafts and all that. But the default, my art expression always went back to drawing. And I used to do like these like really long, like surreal kind of fun stuff that again was kind of wacky. If you look at it, there's a lot of overlap. It was like just kind of goofy, wacky stuff, still fun. Or like I liked like pattern type stuff. So a lot of like Native American like tribal pattern drawing and doodles. Like, yeah, doodle is kind of another big area. But yeah, drawing has been my kind of my main thing, and I started to kind of focus on these characters and faces, and the impact they gave me, it made me smile and made me happy. And so I'd just be kind of, long day and just start drawing a little doodle. It'd make me happy. And I would show someone and they would smile too. And so Toy Boogers, it's kind of like, it's a real positive vibe project. It's just, want to spread some fun, make people smile, have something cute and cool and funny and goofy to hold on to. So yeah, glad you feel that in when you look at it. That's really the intention behind it. It's just good vibes, some fun, goofy, wacky art. If you like Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, all that goofy, fun stuff, I think you'll vibe with it.
Who came up with the name for this project, or how'd you come land on this name?
I know, right? So it varied for a while between all sorts of random stuff, but there's a few things. Boogers, for some reason, I've always called like little kids and dogs and whatnot, just like little booger. I'd be like, hey, little booger. It was just kind of like a funny term of endearment. And also one of my childhood monsters that I would act as was the Booger Man. Okay. Never really had anything to do with actual boogers. It was actually just kind of this funny name because it just sounds kind of gross and goofy. But then putting the toy, because my characters specifically have these toys, so they have nunchucks, they have spray paint, they have ice cream, they have all these fun goofy stuff that they can be holding, or skateboards. One day it just clicked. It was like, oh, they're boogers with toys, and it was like, how funny would it be just to call it Toy Boogers? So definitely, when you first think of it, you're like, oh my god, I hope this isn't a booger avatar project. But then but I think it invites you to look, because you're like, oh my gosh, is this really a booger avatar? And then you look and like, oh no, it's just funny, goofy characters. But then the name sticks, and so like
it does.
Yeah. So once you see it and hear it, you're like, all right, no, Toy Boogers. It's just goofy characters. So
that's actually really well done. I mean, sounds like it could be a TV show or comic or anything. Hey. You've kind of really taken this off here.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so. I do want to expand and go beyond this initial NFT heart of the drop, and Genesis is where it's all starting, and then even the backstory is tied into the NFT metaverse, but where it can go in the future, I think there's a lot of potential. The backstory is just kind of fun too. So the backstory came out after the booger name, but we wrapped the booger name into the backstory. So the backstory is that years 2021, all the NFT fanatics got together to build some teleportation technology to get into a metaverse. But someone accidentally got a booger on the machine's focusing crystal, and then so when we all teleported, we all got mixed with all of our collections, and so the Toy Boogers are us becoming a collection, which is a mix of all of our stuff that we have in our collections. And so there's shout outs to most of the collections, many of which I'm a member of. But there's ape traits, there's robot traits, there's ghosts, there's frogs, there's Shibas, there's mushrooms, there's floppy disks, there's apes, there's pizza references, rare pizza. Yeah, so it's kind of a fun tribute project in that sense as well. I mean, the heart of it's not like it's a tribute project, but it does give shout outs and tributes to all these big collections. And so it's not just like, oh, okay, what's your animal? Like, oh, it's goats this time, or it's apes this time, or robots. It's really everything, and mixing them together was a lot of fun, and that's why it had to be handmade and non-generative, because there's so many heads, there's so many bodies, and there's so many toys, and wings. There's no way that the AI can put it together, and so hand mashing them one by one not only was essential, but I think also made it a lot more fun and wild and wacky in the end, and then each one's put together. So it's like there's a little bit more of a thematic approach, where some of them are just totally random stuff put together, which makes it a lot of fun. But some of them, it'll be clearly like, oh gosh, it's like a zombie with a skull and spray paint and a beanie, so it looks like a little hood zombie character, or like that sloth. The sloth has the spray paint with the hoodies or the beanie. So it's like, and a hoodie actually. So it's like a little bit more thematic and visually pleasing when it all comes together.
I see you have some spray paint, and it looks like these are a lot of doodles. Were you tagging walls and doodling in school books growing up?
A little bit, not a little on the tag. I got a lot of doodling though for sure. And then like, I think again, my skill was more these like little doodles and faces and characters. So people like, they'd throw up like this really cool piece with like letters, and then I'd come in and just put like a crazy little smile, and then it made everybody laugh. So it was still cool. But yeah, there's definitely tribute to the some of the kind of like tag doodles and stuff.
You seem to like making people smile. Were you the class clown growing up, or?
Some years, yeah, I think I was for sort of significant portions. But also, I think that's just my vibe, and people get that. I think you probably even feel it right now. It's just carefree, kind of, well, not totally carefree, but I'm positive. I like to just have fun and enjoy, and then definitely kind of spread that. And it's so much funner when people are just having a good time, smiling and laughing, and so
it seems like you guys. Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, if I can spread some smiles in the world, then mission accomplished, right?
Agreed. Seems like you guys have a wonderful team and a nice project, and it's very, very unique. I'm definitely feeling the art here, and you named off all your different team members and the projects they're in. This was a very impressive interview. I think you guys have such a cool project. Did you take photos of all of these, or did you use a scanner? You own a scanner?
I do, but the funny thing was the photo actually worked better. So I would sketch it in pencil, trace it in my pen, and then erase the pencil, of course, and then it would look pretty much ideal to the outline. And then I would actually just take a photo with the iPhone and send that over. It's so funny because it's such a ridiculous process, but it's like, yeah, draw it, retrace in pen, erase the pencil, take a picture of the iPhone, email it to myself, upload it into Inkscape, vectorize it, touch it up, and then fill in the colors. And then so each piece was made that way. So all the different heads, the faces, the toys,
wow,
the bodies and the wings, and so there was a few months of just making all the assets. I had a fair amount of the character design, kind of faces and stuff already there, so it was a little bit to work on, but I totally expanded and went into a whole new direction, and then pulled elements from all these collections that I'm a fan of. But then there was several months of just putting it together, literally making those 3,333 pieces. Making the assets was one thing, and then mashing them up together was a whole other chapter, which I totally thought I could do faster and more efficient, but it took much longer than I thought, which is good though, because there's a little bit more TLC in it.
Yeah, I mean, just you going through the process, it sounds like you've put probably more work in than most people have just on creating your different art and getting it uploaded. That's a lot. Did you put yourself anywhere in here? I see you have some faces on here. Did you put yourself in as one of the character?
I think so. Some of them definitely. It's so funny. I'll kind of look at them like, that one kind of looks like me when I was a kid or right now. So I think some of them definitely have some pieces of me, and if there was like a psychologist in the room, they'd probably be able to analyze it and show that many of them are probably reflections of me in different ways. But yeah, sometimes there would be something where it's like, okay, that's totally me, like in a goofy hat or something, or the little skull T-shirt, or this something goofy like that. And then I think that also makes it relatable too, because there's so many different stuff people can kind of see themselves in it a little bit too, and we all do with any project, but with a project like this where there's a lot of variability, you can pick the frog, you can pick the Shiba, you can pick the ape or the robot trait, and kind of get something maybe a little bit more to your liking.
Are you already working on the next batch, seeing as it takes you quite a while to draw them, or do you already have them in mind? Or are you already starting them? Are you not going to do another one?
So definitely doing more stuff. Not sure which way it will go, but probably different than the hand mashed thing. So I think this 3,333 piece it's like a Genesis type collection, will be
Special.
the original, the special one of one handmade. And then I do want to consider generative elements, because I really love that, and there's a lot of potential, but I would have to change the format and start off with a framework that would work and let them interchange. So at the moment, the only thing in the works that's being kind of planned out is some of the collab pieces. So there'll be the Toy Booger collab collection, which again is like me doing derivatives of others and others doing derivatives of Toy Boogers, but put under one roof. But definitely have some plans for Roadmap 2.0 with more boogers of some sort.
Do you know of any other projects that are fully hand drawn like this with so much love and care put into them? I guess I don't. You don't need to.
DB's was one, actually. And so 3,000, I think 150. The DB's project is one of the well-known ones, where it was handmade. I'm almost positive it was not generative. I think I'm almost positive it was all put together by hand too. There was something else where it was 3D. I think it's Finn's 3D, cute little like pig kind of characters that were handmade.
So not many.
It's not many. It's really rare, because most people, when they come and do it, they start with the generative approach and go from there. I think some of the Genesis pieces of collections might be like Galactic Apes has the initial like 150 some odd of ones, and like even like Ren One Lab, our team member, has his like minions, and so there's these collections that definitely are like one of one handmade pieces. But once you get into that, the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, you get more into your own territory, because it is hard to even do a few hundred, and then let alone
that's what I was thinking. Just you listening to you explain your process, how you have to draw it with pencil, and then you're going over it with pen and erasing your pencil and taking a photo and uploading it and then coloring it. Dear Lord, that I've created an NFT with my friend. She's an art teacher. It took her maybe 30 hours to draw the different layers. We threw in some code and it spit it out. That sounds like 2 or 3 drawings for you. That's crazy, man. That is very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. It's again, being so expansive with all the different heads. I think there's like 100 different head types and like 50 different body types. There's all sorts of different monsters. There's apes, there's robots, there's llamas, there's duck, shibas, there's
a little bit of everything.
Aliens, a little bit of everything. And so to have so many little pieces, it just, that's what it took. But I'm also a big fan of some of those ones that do happen faster. The Visitors is a neat project that did this like side project, the Blurbs. I don't know if you saw that, where it's basically like a CryptoPunk looking duck kind of thing that hatched out of a different egg product. But they basically put this together in one day. It's like a generative collection that's kind of like a duck version of Punks, kind of as just like a fun thing. It wasn't even it was literally like a side fun thing they did, but they did it in one day, which is insanely impressive. And so sometimes I'm a little jealous of the generative people.
Yeah, I noticed you said you weren't going to do another hand-drawn one. Would you recommend other artists stay away from this? I see that you're not going to do another one. Does that mean it was so hard?
Yeah, not necessarily, and I don't want to say I'm 100% going that way, but I think if I do an expansion element, or even like some projects, so you could do 2 things with projects. You have like a smaller Genesis V1, and then you do like a bigger generative drop, or you kind of start with a big drop and then you do like a companion. I definitely want to do something next, but it's just, for me, it seems to make most sense to do something generative. The individual pieces will be totally custom handmade, of course, as they all start that way. But then the compilation will be most likely generative. And I don't think people necessarily need to start one way or the other. I think it just kind of whatever fits your style. I think the generative stuff is really fun, and it's amazing what can be done. And I think the collections are getting a little bit smaller on sometimes. I mean, we're still seeing actually some of them are still dropping big. Ethereals was 1,234. So I'm sorry, 12,345. So Ethereals was a bigger one, but then like Shroom Folk just dropped at 6,666, and so I think you could play with the numbers a little bit. But if someone is more of a hand-drawn, totally custom, where the pieces don't line up or they don't want them to line up, you could do the handmade. But it is much harder. Like, it took me months, and so I saw so many projects come out as I was working on them and talking to the creators and stuff, and it's kind of funny. We're like, all right, yeah, we'll be dropping at the same time, and then they drop it, I'm still working, and then the next one they're dropping, I'm still working. So
hey,
definitely takes longer. Yeah.
You know what? That's okay. It shows. This is very, very unique. You're not going to pump out these creative little creatures, like you said, using a computer or AI. This, you can definitely tell this has like some love and some flavor put into it. Big shout out again to what was it, Reno 1, man. Thank you for dropping Ren 1. Thank you for dropping those. Those were very nice to look at, and I'm definitely going to stop by and get some stickers and check out your project. How did you land on the 0.08 for the mint? It seems like a popular one. That's probably what I would have chose, but were you guys looking at any other prices?
Yeah, so with Bored Apes dropping at 0.08, they kind of set a standard, and it's been a pretty solid precedent since then. Some of the more handmade ones, like BB's, did like a 0.1, and some of the more 3D kind of custom pieces, I think, drop at about 0.1. But I wanted to be more in the generative kind of price and genre range, so 0.08 just felt right. It's and then some generative do a little bit lower, 0.5 or 6, even or 0.05 or 0.06, but because it's a really small print, or not print run, but a really small NFT batch, 3,000, the 0.08 seemed totally reasonable, especially it's handmade. So
I mean, yeah, it almost seems low.
Well, thank you for saying that. I think it could be, but I do think it's fair, and it's a good starting point. And but I appreciate that sentiment, because so much more work goes into this than
so much work.
Yeah,
you can definitely tell. There's definitely so much work. Just someone could put, like you said, someone dropped an NFT project with a couple thousand or something in a single day. I mean, yeah, that's the level of skill and difficulty is on a magnitude like very different. Thank you very much for coming on and talking with us. You were an excellent interview, man. Was there anything you'd like to touch on your project, or a song you'd like me to play you out to, or anything like that?
Thank you for asking, and thank you for the interview. You're an excellent interviewer, and this was a really fun conversation, and I really appreciate being able to share with everyone. I think final thoughts would be, everybody just check out our Discord, Toy Boogers. It's the standard discord.gg/Toy Boogers, and then we're minting. Come in, get on the presale. We'll be keeping the presale list open until probably, I think, till the 4th. So presale starts on November 6th. Public is November 8th. But yeah, come join our Discord. Check us out. I'm on Twitter everywhere as just @Toy Boogers, so you can connect everywhere. And thank you for hosting me. Thanks to everyone who spent their Friday evening coming in and hanging out. Really appreciate it. And then I'll let you choose any song you want to wrap it up with.
Perfect. All right. Well, definitely get your asses over in their Discord, the Toy Boogers. Get yourself up to level 3. That's one of the easier ones that I've seen to get on a whitelist. Lots of times they do level 5, make you do a couple hours of work. 10 minutes or so of like hanging out with your friends and enjoying the good vibes seems like very, very reasonable, especially for the amount of work that you guys have put into here. That's very impressive, man. I'm very impressed. Impressed.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to play you out to some Hinder Gets Stoned, and I'm going to send everyone over in Ladz City Radio. You should click that Discord link and go collect yourself some stickers, and check out the vibe over there and Toy Boogers, guys. Thank you very much for popping on, Doug. You were an excellent interview. Wish you all the luck in the world with your project, man. I think you're going to do wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, happy Halloween, man.
Thanks, you too.